Now, we love clover for our hunting plots. And when I have a hunting plot, we either have a blind or stand on it, or we won't call it a hunting plot, we're actually hunting it. So critical to hide that blind. We're going to talk about that in a second. Natural is always best. I don't want a wall of miscanthus across that redneck, for example, back there. And even when it's something small like this, you have to ask yourself, if you're up north and you have predators and something could be hiding behind some grass, is it even good to have a wall of switchgrass right in front of it? We don't have that predator effect as much here in southeast Minnesota, but it's something to consider, especially as the plot sizes get smaller and smaller. However, right now with the clover, what do? Well, this was our Fall Power 365 blend, and we always add rye to that Fall Power if you're seeing a lot of soil going into Labor Day, September, sometime around there. So we did add rye. You can see the rye heads right here. They're just in that stage right now, doughy stage, where you can actually squeeze the seeds and there's actually moisture that comes out of them. And so they're not at that point where it's a viable seed head, but boy, I don't know if it's a week away, 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, but it's really close to this being viable. I don't want it being viable. However, it's so thick in here, even if we mowed it down and seed got on the ground, I think it would germinate, it'd be moist, it'd be wet, but it's not gonna see the sun through this clover, so it'd die. Right now you see about half of these flowers are still colorful and pretty, depending on what type of clover it is. And then you have the other half that are burned up and dying. And if you look online, there's a lot of advice. When you see the flowers, you mow. When you see them dead, you mow. I like in between. So right now, today, will probably be that time that we come in here and mow this. And so when I'm mowing it, you see a lot of this clover growth, and the more rye you have that you add, we usually add about 100 to 150 pounds per acre, but the more rye you have in the mix, you'll find that clover growing straighter and narrower instead of branching out. The bottom line is you can see a lot of this clover, and we have alfalfa in this mix and chicory. It's growing a lot more vertical. Once we mow that down, instead of being able to see the soil, it'll produce an actual mat, and it'll get really tight, I mean really thick. In fact, I have steel toe boots on, and if I go to when we mow this and when it grows, say a month and a half from now, it'll be tough. Like if we're making a scrape, I'll just about need a shovel and a spade to cut through it, even with steel toe boots, just kicking at it. It doesn't break it apart real easy because that clover just branches out so much and it gets so thick in here. We're right at that point. So that's something we need to do. And when we mow and pick up this clover, even though we've done a great job with weed control in here, I see a couple briars coming in. When we mow, then that's going to take care of a lot of these weeds, and they'll be so suppressed with the clover, chicory, alfalfa growth mix that they'll be diminished, shaded out, and we won't get a lot of weed growth. So this would be beautiful. We have a camera right over there, and when we mow this today, I'm going to change the batteries there so that when we get, I imagine, I don't know if there's any bucks using this right now. Typically this would be doe and fawn time, and so if we get some does and fawns in here, we'll get the redneck in the background, and that's that scene. We actually have a camera right over here that I can get going too. I'll get some leaves out of it, get that on video, so we can get some B-roll added to this so you guys can see this, what it looks like when we're coming in here mowing it, what it looks like afterwards. But really, when it's a hunting plot, the most important thing that you can have, even more than the food, is your access into that blinder stand, how much that blinder stand's hidden, how you can get out of that stand without spooking deer. So in this case, we have a 2-acre food plot, about 250 yards this way, maybe 200 yards. So that serves as a pass-through. We have another big food plot system on the other side over there. It's about 3 acres on the other side of the hollow, up and on the other side. And then we have a little over a 1-acre plot, about 500 yards that way. So this is that perfect movement. We have a water hole 150 yards that way. So this is that perfect movement where we get a lot of deer movement. So it's in the perfect spot. We can blow our scent out to a reliable spot where there's no deer. And most importantly, we can get in and out of this blind without spooking deer. They'll come over here. Now obviously the blind is sticking out. And to me, sometimes you have to give up a year, but we had trouble here last year. We had newbie come through here. So we had some really nice bucks. We have a really nice 10. They had a broken G4 on them that was in here. And so they still use this plot and that scrape right behind Dylan and the camera right there. I want this to be more natural. I don't want the redneck sticking out that much. You'll notice on Leo's plot, a plot that Dylan and I just shot a hunting video on the piece that we're selling, the 77 acres that we have for sale right now, that blind is completely hidden. You can see the blind, but it just blends in behind the bushes. So again, instead of a wall of something unnatural, what I like is we have silky willows planted in here, the big rock trees, silky willows, and they're doing phenomenal. This was planted last year in May, and you can see it's already over 6 feet, 7 feet tall. It's got currently just this one right here has about 7 shoots on it, different trunks coming out, but you can see how well each one of them is doing, and you can see by sunlight how they're doing better or not based on that sun. So you get back in here, not doing as well, it's a little bit shorter, but it's about 3 feet tall. So what we're trying to do is, you see all this green on all sides, we have this double spaced silky willow through here, and we'll have to, even this year, because these will still grow, you can kind of see where it turns a little bit lighter green, where we've gotten growth this year. This whole sprig is new, but this will grow another 2 to 3 feet tall this year. These shrubs will end up 10 feet wide, 10 feet high. They'll come out to here. And so then we'll just chisel out a hole for that window, and we'll be able to shoot the whole plot, and be completely hidden. But that also blocks our access from the back. Even right now, we couldn't come in here and out. You wouldn't spook any deer out here, because unless you make some noise, you can get into that blind, look out. On the back side, we actually have switchgrass planted. This is walled off, so deer can't walk through by the food plot, or walk by the stand. So really important that you want this natural progression and flow of cover, and then the blind's just a part of that on the back side. You know, just making a hole out for it. And like I said, we had some of our oldest bucks come through here last year and not spook and not really pay attention to the blind, but I know we can do a better job, and I really want it to disappear. I wonder how many bucks might have been in this right back here into the woods. Look out here, see that blind and not come in here, and there could have been some. Maybe a buck that came through here one time, saw it, and then never returned because of that. So I want to take that effect away, and you really just can't stick that blind out on the outside edge. We hit this topic a lot because it's very important, because we continually go to clients over and over again, and we'll have blinds that are right out in the open. And so I want to keep clients from doing that, but I want to keep you viewers out there from doing that. And I'm not saying that this isn't important, having a quality food plot. You know, we want quality clover because it establishes a pattern of use during the summertime. Any mature buck that comes through here, finds a clover, they remember that clover's here. And so even if that clover's down to the dirt, that buck will pass through here, just going from water hole to big food source, coming up around a doe bedding area, looking for does, especially during the rut. They can be a part of his daily pattern, but he's just on the way to somewhere else. We don't want this right here to be the end all be all for food. In that case, we have a lot more diversity, and we want that food to last the entire season. This is just a pass through right here. And so to me, I like the clover for just a pass through. There's some that border on hunting plot / holding plot on the way to a bigger one still, and then we get a little bit better diversity. But for something this small, I would say this is a 1/4 acre at best, then clover is really the answer. And but even if you had layered rye in here, let's say at a brassica plot and you're in a wooded area, well, the deer will go through here. It's just all about how long does that last. We like setting up the pattern of use early, and clover ends up fitting the needs. But there's so many other things to consider when looking at a hunting plot, as far as movement, your access getting in and out, and a lot of it boils down to a blind. A lot of people like to sit in a blind nowadays, and to me, a lot of blinds are causing a lot more problems. Someone might have the perfect setup, the perfect food planted, but if you can't get in and out without spooking deer, if your blind is not hidden, at least partially, then you're really starting behind before the season even begins. So it all starts really with making sure you can hunt without spooking deer. Your blind location stand, making sure you can get in and out without spooking deer. Having something natural. Like here, we don't have any conifers around here, so if I had a wall of cedar there, or a wall of spruce, it would stick out a little bit. And I want something that's a little bit more blending, natural, shrubs. We have shrubs all the way around this, and that fits the need right here. Maybe it'd be something different in your area, but again, hunting plot means hunting. Getting in and out without spooking deer is the #1 name of the game, even more important than what you're planting, and hope you can appreciate that.